Hey, do you know what time it is? It is your Windsor Essex County weekly real estate market recap. And this week numbers tell a real honest story. Stick around to the end because I'm going to tell you exactly what to expect if you're buying or selling a home or condo has been on your mind. This one's matters, so let's get into it. Stick around to the end because I'm going to tell you exactly what to expect if buying or selling a home or condo has been on your mind. This one's matters, so let's get into it. If you're thinking about making a move to or within Windsor Essex County, whether that's buying, selling, or relocating, I want you to know something first. Every single month, I get to help families just like yours make the right informed decision. So if any part of what I'm about to share feels like it applies to you, my contact information is right below this video. And I would be genuinely excited to help you and your family make your move as smooth as possible and stress-free. Okay, let's get into the numbers because I think they'll actually put your mind at ease. So far this July, we had 1,206 homes were listed on MLS for sale in Windsor Essex County. And out of those, 458 homes sold. That means 458 families found a home that they were looking for. And now here's a number I really want to sit with you for a second. 140 of those homes expired, but 548 homes were canceled. They were taken off the market. That's almost 4 times as many homes pulled by their own sellers as homes that simply run out of time. I call that the confidence gap. And here's what it actually means for you. It's not that these homes were bad homes. It's that the number on the sign didn't match what buyers were actually willing to pay. So the homeowner, the seller, made a call to step back rather than keep chasing a number the market wasn't supporting. Now here's something worth knowing, especially if you're a buyer. When a home or a condo comes off the market and then comes back, it does not always come back the same way, and it really depends on what the seller's specific situations are. Sometimes they get relisted at exactly the same price, especially if they had an offer date the first time and just didn't get the number that they were hoping for. They might try the same price again to see if a different buyer feels differently. Sometimes it actually comes back higher if they still believe in that original number and want to give it one more shot at a stronger price. And sometimes if the seller has become genuinely motivated to sell, maybe life circumstances change, maybe they just want it done, it comes back lower price to actually move this time. So if you're watching a home in your neighborhood disappear and reappear, pay attention to how it comes back. That tells you a lot about where the seller's heads is at. If you're thinking about selling, this is exactly why pricing to real current market data matters so much more than pricing to hope from the very first day. Now, if you're a buyer reading into these numbers, here's your takeaway. The average sale price is almost $547,000, but the median, the number that actually reflects what most homes are selling for right in the middle of the pack, is just over $508,000. That gap between average and median tells you something too. A handful of higher price homes are pulling the average numbers up. And don't let a big average scare you off if your budget sits closer to that median. And here's something that should generally make you feel better if you're being nervous about timing. Homes are taking about an average 46 days to sell right now. That's not a frantic pace. That gives you room to breathe, to actually compare homes instead of feeling rushed into whatever's available. And if you're finding this useful so far, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It really does help other families in our community find this exact information when they need it the most. And if this is your first time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I do this every single week. Now let's talk about condos for a second because the story here is a little different. And if a condo has been part of your plan, you'll want to hear this. We have 135 condos were listed so far on MLS in July for sale, and that only 30 sold. We had 28 expired and 57 were canceled. So same pattern shows up here too. Homes and condos coming back at the same price, a higher price or a lower price, all depending on how motivated that seller really is. The average sale price is $416,000 with a median just over $380,000. And condos are taking a bit longer right now, averaging about 50 days to find the right buyer. So here's what I want you to actually walk away with today. If you're selling, whether it's a home or condo, the families avoiding that cancel pile are the ones pricing honestly right from day one based on what's actually happening in their specific neighborhood. And if you're buying this space, this gap between listed and sold, it's not something to be afraid of. That's actually room for you to negotiate, room for you to be thoughtful, room to find the right fit or the right home instead of settling. So I just want to give you a quick update as to what I'm seeing in our market right now with me and my clients. So for the month of July, I've been working with 6 families. We wrote about 10 offers and we had 5 acceptance. So we show over, I believe, about 80 plus homes during the month of July, and it was a busy month. But what I find now is you as a buyer, you have a lot of selection, but at the same time you're gonna have a competition for the homes that show as well. Turnkey move-in ready is in a good location and is priced aggressively low by the agent. Classic example I have is I have a friend, he's a first-time buyer, and we wrote on a home, and the home initially he didn't like it afterwards, so it was not in the best location. It was the first home we saw. Morning. And he basically felt the location was not the ideal location, which I agreed. We went back and forth and we countered back, but the numbers didn't make any sense. The seller and the agent, they wanted more than what I feel the home is worth into this market, and hence we pretty much walked away from the deal because we had an inspection, a mortgage financing condition, and during the counter offer, my client's like, hey, listen, I'm not interested anymore. And the second scenario was we saw a really nice home, East Windsor, 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, turnkey move-in ready, and renovated really nicely, and was priced aggressively low. And I knew this home was gonna go high. I listed at $299,900. Basement was finished, so the potential to add another bathroom was there for like $10,000. So homes in the area, you're looking around $400K. And there was like a 3rd bedroom, but legally you can't call it a bedroom, but it's there. But personally, would I buy the home at the right price? Yeah. So that home ended up having 22 offers. Okay, 22. Obviously, our offer had a home inspection, mortgage finance condition, just to protect my client. This home sold $112,000 over the list price, and I mean, not surprised. A really nice home, and whoever got a home got a great home. And my client, no surprises there. I told him that this was going to be the case to begin with, and that's exactly what happened. So that's the first scenario, and that goes to the case in point. Any homes that's in a good location and is priced aggressively low and is in turnkey move-in ready condition, you're gonna have a lot of families fighting for that home. Meaning, put on an offer, I wanted to buy that home. So competition does exist for those type of home. And then my second family I was helping, first-time home buyer, she started off in the $700, $750 price point. She wanted a home with 2 kitchen, 3 bathroom, and ensuite, so that way she could rent the basement out to have potential income. So I told her, listen, do you really want to spend that high of a budget for a home where potentially you could deal with a bad tenant? What happens if you don't find a tenant that's reliable? You know, you're gonna get a bigger home and probably nicer home, but then you put in a lot of financial pressure on yourself. So we went around the 600 price point. We saw a really nice home in a great neighborhood. Needs some updating, but it was solid. And we put an offer in. We were in multiple offer, and we did not get a home. The home was sold to another family. The offer was better than ours in terms of price and condition. Obviously, it's my first time buyer. I have to protect her. Once again, mortgage financing and home inspection condition. We did not get that. So come back to home number 2. Saw it, good location, renovated nicely. Price was where they wanted to be. There were no games being played. I called the agent to get a feel to see, hey, what's going on? Can you share with me some details? We booked a showing, wrote an offer, and they didn't respond. They said we're gonna wait over the weekend because it was 2 days into the house being on the market because they had an open house. Long story short, come on the weekend, Sunday, there's another offer that came in, so we are in competition. So we put our offer in, or we put the same offer, then it came back and countered us, not for a whole lot more, and basically our offer was accepted. Inspection went really well. 2 things to fix, not bad. Mortgage financing was approved on Friday, 5 days later in the afternoon, and we just formed the deal up the last day of this month. So this month, 5 families. I have 5 families. It's been a very nice month for a lot of families out there, but it's a lot of driving, a lot of work, but I'm not going to complain, because at the end of the day, to me, it's not work. It's about something what I love doing for the families that I love helping, and that's finding their home in the right location, the right price. And it's always about you first. What's your goal? And I'm always going to have your best interest first. And that's what we're seeing for the buyer perspective in the market. And I just want to share a couple of key points here. If you're a buyer in this market, I would definitely recommend go talk to your bank first. And sometime your bank and the mortgage agent, I'm not saying they're not knowledgeable in what they do. There are ways legally and ethically and morally to get a mortgage, but a lot of mortgage agents, sometimes without experience, don't know how to educate you and show you your options. Case in point, I have a client, he's going through some situation right now, and he told me, you know, he's at the bank, certain bank, and he has somebody he's talking to. He went to 2 places and they didn't know what they were doing, and he got declined. All right, so I said, hey, you know what, you're at this bank, my guy's at the same bank. There's no harm in having a conversation with him. And he had that conversation with him, and he got his pre-approval in place. So make sure, explore your options. Talk to the agent. He may have somebody who's a specialist, and at the same time, get your pre-approval done before you start looking for homes. So that way you know, hey, you know what, if I see this home, if I like it, I could get the mortgage funded and I could buy this home. Not going out there hoping, and then after you see and fall in love with the home, you end up don't get in the home, and you're heartbroken because you didn't get your mortgage approved. So these are the stuff you should do ahead of time to save yourself a lot of grief. Morning. And that's a personal tip of mine. So if an agent asks you, have you got your pre-approval done, don't feel in any way that, hey, you don't want to share that. I think he's trying to save you time, disappointment, and money, and save everybody times as well, and heartbreak. That's just my honest thought and opinion based on my personal experience. And now for a family that are thinking of selling the home, the key here is getting real data and pricing to support what you know based upon today's market, what's happening. Don't think about emotion, the price you have in your head, or what has happened in the past. The market here moves very quickly. During our sales meeting yesterday, I think we touched on that, because what's happening is, like, you see your neighbor home sold last week or a month ago for $550, and then we list your home at $550 and crickets. So you got to be, in a way, your agent has to educate you and said, these are our pricing options. If your home shows well, you do your homework you're supposed to do. Your home's in a good location. We can't change location. Like I always say, we can change how your home look, how it smell, curb appeal, and you do that. All you need is touch up some work, and you're realistic with data, and you're pricing home aggressively well and market it well. Chances are your home will sell, but you're gonna have to be realistic and patient and use the current data, not last year, not 2 months ago. The market moves pretty quick in a way, but not quick in terms of pricing, and it's sometimes takes a while to sell your home. But each pocket of Windsor or anywhere you are is very specific to the neighborhood in terms of price. So don't think like 3 or 4 streets across sell at a great price, meaning your street is gonna sell at that price too. Because once again, it comes down to presentation, which is price, condition, and marketing. Those are the 3 factors, I believe. If all is in line or aligned and you're patient, most likely you will get your home sold with the price and the terms that you like. Okay, but be realistic and patient. Sometimes negotiating back and forth takes a while. It can be emotional. I try to take the emotion out of it, to be neutral, because my job is to help you see the logic And I know it's one of the most emotional, stressful, and largest financial decision of your life. So you have all right to be, but that's where we as professionals comes in and kind of like educate you, guide you through the process, and make sure there's no stress, anxiety, and hold your hands throughout the journey. And you will find this a lot, and it happens. So human beings buy and sell on emotions. I try to be logical, and I hope you can relate to this, and let me know what you think below. All right, now I'm probably gonna get flack for this. How do you find a good agent? So you're thinking of selling a home, do your research, go online and look at Google reviews, go and search for the best agent near you and see if they have a lot of reviews. That will tell you the kind of agent they are based upon their client testimonial. Ask a couple of friends, who they recommend. At least interview 3 agents. So here's a very big point I want to stress. So some agents will come in and it's like, yeah, I got 1 million views and here's all my social media, blah blah blah. So your response to that is, can you tell me or show me, not tell me, show me how many families have you helped in the last 24 months? And that would give you indication as to if they're producing or they're just a social media influencer. And there's a lot of those out there. So be very careful of that. Views does not sell home. What sell home is marketing, pricing, strategy, communication. And I find personally there's a lot of agents in our market who are very great, but then there's some of them that come across on social media as being so amazing and they suck. So I'm very passionate about this because sometimes the public perception is you see somebody that look very professional and they have everything done nicely. There's a lot of flaws in that. I know personally some really great friends of mine, they're not even on social media and they're like probably in the top 1% of agent in Windsor Essex County when it comes to productivity and having families. And do your homework, okay? Please, all right? Research, interview, and you feel a connection, data. They gotta show you, telling them, bring with me your last 2 years of business. Every agent in our MLS can print that out, okay? Sometimes they have a team, great. The team is great, but you're working with that agent. You're not working with a team. That's just my honest opinion, okay? Because you're building trust and connection, and when you connect, you're connecting with that one agent, not the whole team, because they're gonna be the face of who you interact with. And I do hope you're finding this helpful. This is just my honest 2 cents. I'm very passionate about families who, are protecting the biggest investment emotionally, financially, and I don't want somebody to take advantage of you. And I meet a lot of families. Sometimes I meet families who we're not aligned on the same page, and whatever their goals are, I can't help you because sometimes emotionally, financially, they're way beyond what the data is showing. And I always say, hey, I'm sorry, I love your home, you have a great home, but I feel what you're looking for in this market, I can't help you, and no hard feelings. I would show you, give you tips and everything, but ultimately I don't want to take your business and then I beat you down on price and I lie to you just to get your business. I'll tell you the truth, nothing but the truth, and based on data and my personal 9 years of experience selling in our local market. I'd love to know what you think about local real estate market right now, so drop a comment below. I read every single one of them and I respond to every single one personally. And don't forget, I've got another video coming up right here after this one for you right there. And if you or your family are even quietly thinking about making a move, but that's buying, selling, or relocating to or within Windsor Essex County, please reach out, leave a comment. I would love to help you. Take care, stay safe, have a great day, have a great weekend, have a great week, and a great month, and see you soon. Bye now.